Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I'm glad to have you here. Up until now I created a few videos about Postiz installation and setup guides, and as you might notice, those were my first attempts at content creation. So I took a bit of a break to figure things out and improve the whole process. I was really glad to see that my videos actually helped some of you, so thanks a lot for likes, subscriptions and feedback. I do really appreciate it. A few days ago I've got a comment under one of my videos asking for a video guide about Postiz installation and setup on Dokploy. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I had no idea what Dokploy is up until yesterday and I actually got intrigued. So today we are going to try to figure out what Dokploy is, how to install it and how to make Postiz work on it. And as usually, no coding skills are required. I will explain everything along the way and we will keep things as much as newbie-friendly as possible. So, first of all, let's try to understand what Dokploy is. Basically, it's a tool, kind of like an admin panel for your server, that makes it super easy to deploy and manage your web apps, websites, databases, etc. on your own server. And it doesn't matter if your server is a home server or you are renting one online, you can install this tool to make the management a little bit easier. The nice thing about this tool is that it's open sourced, meaning it's free to use. There are certain prerequisites that you should be aware of before you jump into the installation command. First one, probably the most important one, is you need to have Linux. If you go to the official installation documentation, you can find all the Linux distros that Dokploy was tested on. However, keep in mind, it doesn't mean that if you have different one, it will not work. Yeah, you just simply need to try. Second one is you need to make sure you have certain ports available, and they are listed here. So it's port 80, 443, and 3000. You can execute this command to check whether ports are available. If you execute this command straight away, then it will list you everything. If you would like to filter it by the needed ports, we just need to add grep and port number. So in our case, we need one with 80, 443, and one with 3000. As you can see, for me, those ports are already taken, simply because I already installed Dokploy before that. But if we check for some port that is not listed, you should be able to see just the empty line. Nothing, like you see right now on the screen. This means that port is available. You also need to make sure that you have curl installed, but usually this one already comes pre-installed, as far as I know. At least this is what I had. And the last point, in the documentation it says that if you don't have a Docker installed and you run this installation command for the Dokploy, it will automatically install Docker for you. However, I ran into a few issues with that. So you can either try it out or you just can simply pre-install Docker. To install the Docker, go to the docker.com, click Get Started, learn how to install Docker, and in the documentation you can go to the Docker engine, install Docker engine and select your operating system. I'm running on Ubuntu server, so I will pick this one, and basically here it's just copy-pasting. Copy-paste this command to install everything, then copy-paste second command to install Docker plugins, and then the command to check whether everything is installed and running. In my case, everything was already installed previously, so just to make sure you have everything, go to the terminal, type docker ---- version to check if the Docker installed, and also for the compose, Docker compose version without minuses. And if you have similar response, as you can see right now on the screen, it means that you are good to go. Now, For the installation of the Dokploy, everything is extremely easy. Honestly, it's just one command to run. It's directly on the front page of the official website. You just need to copy it, paste it into the terminal and hit enter. Keep in mind that you might need to run this command with sudo, but be careful. Most probably sudo is required for the second part, for the sh part of this command, not for the first one. Your command should look similar to what you can see right now on the screen. What will happen when you execute this command? It will just run the installation and it might take some time. Just be patient. When the installation is complete, you should be able to access your Dokploy Dashboard on port 3000 of your server IP. When you first time launch it, it will ask you to create account, and after that you should be able to see the same screen what I have right now. Okay, with the next step we need to deploy Postiz Compose. And to be able to do that, first thing we need to do is create a project. Let's just create new project. Let's give it a name, Postiz. You can write some description and tags if you wish to. I will leave it empty for now. So now we have a project created. Next, we need to create a service for this project. So click Create Service and select Compose here. Let's type some name for the service. I don't know, let's write Dashboard. Click Create. And let's go to our service. So our service is empty right now. We need to deploy Postiz. So to be able to do that, first thing we need to do is let's go back to the Dokploy documentation. Here, docs. And in the search bar, search for Postiz. Since it already has a predefined template for it, it has small instruction on what should you do to be able to install it. So basically, we need to go to advanced tab of our service and do the base64 import. And we need to paste this huge string there. So we copy the string and let's go back to our dashboard of Dokploy, go to advanced tab, paste here what you've copied from the documentation and click load. As you can see, we loaded the configuration file for Postiz and let's click import. We imported it successfully, then save, and let's go back to the general tab. Now we have it here, everything imported. The next thing you need to do is to deploy it. Deploy, confirm, and you can see the deployment is running here. It shouldn't take much time. Everything is pretty much fast. When deployment is successfully completed, there are a few more things that I would like to show you. First, let's go to the General tab. In General tab, when you look at the Postiz configuration file, you might see these kind of placeholders everywhere. So it's Postiz host, GWT secret, and DB password, user name. So basically, those are environmental variables. You are not changing them directly in the configuration file. Instead, there is one centralized place where you can define and change them. And it's basically here in the second tab, environment. If you go here, those variables are defined here. To be able to see them, you need to click this button and now you can change them. So for the Postiz host, you need to change to your server IP address for now. You change it, click Save button, and the second step would be we need to go to the domains. In domains, you will see here auto-generated by default some random string. So you need to change that. To be able to do that, you go into the edit mode and you just need to replace the host. Basically, you need to provide the same IP address here and click update. When it's done, you need to go back to the General tab and click Reload or Deploy. Every time you do changes here, to make those changes take an effect, you need to redeploy it. So now redeployment is done. We can go here and click on the IP address. As you can see right now, it doesn't load anything for me, but basically the reason for this is the cache. So in this case, not to clear the cache every time in your browser, you can either go with another browser or just go with incognito mode. So as you can see, in incognito mode, everything is working. However, our setup is missing a lot of things, and if you go straight away, you will most probably get an error. Okay, after fighting the configuration, I was finally able to find one that is working. Unfortunately, I will not be able to guide you through all of them right now because simply many of them I don't really know what they're doing. I partially wipe coded, and what I'm going to do right now is I will share the configuration file with you as well as my environmental variables, so you can try to use them on your side. At least it should unblock you, and you will be able to continue to investigate the Postiz, and most probably you will also be trying to figure out the configurations by yourself. So just for the sake of time saving, yeah, I will upload as it is. Meanwhile, I will continue to investigate it. And if there is a need to create the second part of this video, I would be glad to do so. So please let me know how it went for you. Did configuration file help you, or you struggled with something else? Please share your errors and blockers. I will be trying to help you in the comments. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope to see you soon in the next one, and take care.